Thanks for tuning in to the FiveTwenty Collective Podcast. This REFmusic208, owner of VitalTune.com, an Idaho-based Christian hip-hop artist. I just wanted to chime in and let you all know about my new album titled Kingdom Come that's now available everywhere the digital music is sold and streamed. The project is comprised of 15 tracks and has several features on it from artists like KJ52, K-Drama, Young Noah, and many more upcoming and already established artists. We also have dropped an official music video for my track Been Blessed, which features myself and another fellow Idaho-based artist named Rolly Water, and that's now available to view on YouTube as well as many other avenues like Rapzilla.com, Trackstarz.com, as well as on the FiveTwenty Collective website. I appreciate y'all time and attention. Now let's get back into the podcast you've been waiting for. Bless.
That's gonna be a problem.
FiveTwenty Collective, where music meets ministry and the indie artist takes center stage.
Take a ride through my old town, old me, old Sean, might need boats, cry oceans, here float down my old child, fear so broke, no hope round here. Been trying to cope since like 01, better slow down for your cosign, you like ocean.
What's up and welcome to the September episode of the FiveTwenty Collective Podcast, where music meets ministry and the indie artist takes center stage. We're in the field on the Trackstarz podcasting network. It is Eric Boston and my cohort, Nate Shelton. Nate, what's going on, man?
Hey, not much. What's going on? Got a fresh haircut. Feeling good. So the weekend is rolling out nicely.
There you go, man. There you go. Yeah, man. We're definitely hitting that weekend, and man, I'm excited for this month's podcast. Man, we've got a good song that we're featuring, an excellent interview with DJ Jeremaya of Trackstarz. So man, I want to get into it. I want to just get into this song, get into that interview, and share that with the people, man. I think the first place we got to start though is giving a big shout out to Godframe. He is the official sponsor of this month's episode. If you guys don't know him, Godframe is an Atlanta-based artist. He's a producer, he is a youth speaker, and he's on a mission to bring the hope of the gospel to the world through music and media. So his latest album, guys, is Hello Jesus. It's available everywhere music is sold, streamed, wherever you listen to it, you can find it. It includes the single Aquafina, and you can find more information about Godframe on his website. That is godframe.com. So make sure you go support the homie Godframe. Definitely a friend of FiveTwenty Collective. And guys, he has a video coming soon that I'm going to need y'all to check out. Like, he gave us an early peek at it, and it's something special, guys. So make sure you check it out. Godframe. The album is Hello Jesus. The single Aquafina. Nate, man, what is just what's been going on the last month, man?
Out there working with people, connecting. I don't have a whole lot of new stuff. Just kind of, doing my thing. We've been growing though. It's been fun. Got a lot of new artists we've been hooking up with. Hooked up with artist Q Flow. He's working with FiveTwenty now. So we're excited to see what goes on with him in the future.
Definitely. And we've got a little something in the works that's going to feature Q-Flow, as well as a few other artists, man. And one thing that is going to be featuring is the new Lions Den remix. So we just held our Lions Den remix producer challenge, guys. And Nate, we found ourselves a winner of it.
We did find a winner. Some interesting submissions, some good ones. It was kind of tough. But yeah, it was great to get that winner announced, and excited to see what they do with Poetics.
Definitely. And guys, if you did not tune in to the Trackstarz show and hear the announcement of the winner, our guy DJ Jeremaya announced that for us. I want to go ahead and make sure you guys know he's kind of the mastermind behind Ministry Over Industry, based out of Oklahoma. Our dude Courageous Music was our winner of the Lions Den Remix Producers Challenge. We're going to have his remix along with a couple other things that's going to be dropping soon. Kind of keep supporting that original bars challenge of Lions Den that we had. So make sure you check it out. Go and check out Courageous Music and what they're doing over there at ministry over industry. Really good stuff, really good artists that have come together to do that, man. So they're definitely worth checking out and supporting. And Nate, I know you mentioned it a second ago, man, that stuff continues to grow here at FiveTwenty. Well, guys, if you want to see, specifically the podcast continue to grow, you can do one thing for us. That would be a huge blessing. Go to our Anchor page. It's anchor.fm/FiveTwenty CHH, and you can actually support the FiveTwenty Collective podcast right there on Anchor, guys. Make a little monetary donation, and we'll put that right back into growing this podcast, which we are super excited about. We told you guys last month we've been added to several different internet stations. Big shout out to our first FM station, KRGN 98.5 in Harker Heights, Texas. Ron Grayson, the team, man, just putting in work for us. We got to talk with them. Our podcast last month was the first official one that they featured, and got a lot of good feedback, Nate. They said that they played it. People were calling in, saying good things. So it's just exciting to see where the show's going, man.
Yeah, it's really exciting and always great to hear positive feedback, and you're not getting shut down on the first episode. So I'm excited to see what goes on here on the road out.
Definitely. And guys, if you want to keep track of what's going on, not only with the podcast, but with FiveTwenty Collective, just overall, make sure you hit up FiveTwentyCollective.com. That's where you can find everything, including the links to our social media accounts. But we are on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud. I mean, we're kind of all over the place. Just type in @FiveTwentyCHH. You'll find us, follow us, hit us up, interact with us. We want to get to know, what you like about the platform, what you want to see us doing, so we can get out there for you. And I know myself and Nate would love to be able to interact with you personally. So if you hit me up on Twitter, it is @EricBoston3. That's @EricBoston and the number 3. Shoot me a DM. Love to talk with you. Nate, where can people follow you and get connected?
You can find me on Twitter @IamNate_dog. You can find me there. I'll do all my CHH talking, other thoughts that come to my mind. That's where I do my business.
That's what's up, dude. That's what's up, man. So, dude, we saw a lot of good music drop over this past month, man. I know we're probably going to not remember every one of them, but definitely want to give a shout out to Mitch Durrell. He dropped a new single, Introspection, with Corey Wordsmith, who we featured on the podcast before, as well as YJO on that song. Let's see, our guy D. Reed dropped Level Up featuring H.405, and he's part of that Ministry Over Industry collective out there in Oklahoma, along with like our guy Coop and several other people. TC, man, dropped, I'm probably going to say it wrong because I am not a Dragon Ball guy, but is it Senzu Bean, I believe is how you say it?
It sounds close.
If that's not right, the one thing I can definitely tell you is that the song is it goes hard, man. He collabed with Boomer's World on the production, man, and they turned out a really good track, dude. A really good track.
TC is really finding his lane right now. He's a fun one to listen to. I'm excited to see what he comes out with every time he drops a new single. So definitely, if you're not following TC, you need to look him up.
That is complete truth right there, guys. TC is a monster. We have really enjoyed being able to get to know him, not only just as an artist, but as a person, and just seeing the skill that he is bringing to his music, man. It's tough. He had that new mixtape that he put out for free on SoundCloud, the Tabernacle Melodies. So yeah, definitely check out TC, and then also check out our guy. He's a founding member of FiveTwenty. He did the production on Lion's Den. He performed the hook on there. Our guy Offline PK dropped a collab single with Jay Fish called Spaceman this past month. Would have loved to hear Offline PK jumping on there with some vocals, but he just stuck to the production side on this one. But you know what? I can't hate it, Nate. It's a good song, and the more I listen to it, the more it gets stuck with me.
It's still good stuff. But yeah, like you said, Offline, get on there and get some vocals to it would have been even nicer. But The production, he's just as good with it too. So that was a great single that came out this last month.
For sure. Man, Nate, what else? Is there any other songs that you can think of that dropped over this past month that just really stood out to you? I mean, I know we kind of been talking about the guys there in the group me chat, and while you're thinking for a second, let me just put in a plug for the group me. Like, guys, we have this group me chat where we've got independent artists, we've got people who are running platforms, people who are running playlists, I mean, people that are offering services, like production. I mean, there's just so many people in there with different skills, and you can be a part of that group me chat. Hit up FiveTwentyCollective.com, click on group me right there in that top menu, and you get all the details on how you can become a part of that chat and start making connections with these guys.
That is a fun chat to be a part of too. So definitely hit us up and get in on that.
Cool. Any other songs that you want to shout out, or just anything independent CHH over the last month?
Overall, Culture Villains, I got a special place in my heart for them. All summer they've been dropping great music. Cam just recently dropped a new single with Cinny called We. That's been one that really sticks out right now. But yeah, all the summer long, Culture Villains have just been putting out great stuff, and I'm excited to see where the future holds in store for them too.
Definitely, man. And another one that we want to check out is this song that we are about to feature, Nate. And I'm gonna let you set it up, but man, before we do, like, guys, make sure you stick around for the interview segment this month. Very excited, got to chop it up with my friend DJ Jeremaya of Trackstarz. So it was a real fun conversation. I want to make sure you guys stick around for that industry insider interview after our song on this month's show. But Nate, I want you to share it with them, man. What are we featuring this month? I'm excited about it. Great song. So I'm just ready to get into it, dude.
You sound like you're chomping at the bit, but we're going to hear REFmusic208. He's got the song Grind featuring Zayhill and KJ52. Some heavy hitters there.
Definitely, man. Definitely a great song. Shout out to REFmusic208. He's kind of come along. We've kind of built a relationship with him as well. He runs Squad Life Radio, Vital Tune. And Squad Life actually features the FiveTwenty Collective podcast. So we're super excited to be able to feature his song Grind off of his new project Kingdom Come. Guys, make sure you go hit up Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen to your music, and check out this new 15-song project. You won't be disappointed. Hit up FiveTwentyCollective.com. Check out our guy Darius Mullen. He did a early listen, put up a review on the project. But yeah, man, let's get into it, Nate. Here is the song Grind with REFmusic208 featuring Zayhill and KJ52.
Turn a sinner to a saint. Overcame death, never know his name. My life infected, affected from living reckless. The sense that's the way I wrecked it, but all the same, he checked it. Came into my life, saw no grace is real. Changed my heart from up inside, new man been revealed. So who I be if I just kept it more to me? Silent, watch you go to hell while I'm living free. Ain't a bigger hater than a friend afraid to speak. Say they love you to the grave, once you're gone and they critique. That ain't me though. coach you different amigos. Introduce you to my gang, 3 and 1 amigos. No matter what place me go with the pressure on like free throw. Share that gospelito, teach that B-I-B-L-E-O till I D-I-D-I-E-O. Let's go.
Grind, 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 grind. Ay, push me, I won't stop my grind. Ay, I'm gonna go for what's mine. I gotta grind, I gotta grind. Grind, 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 grind. I gotta grind, 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 grind. I gotta grind, 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 grind. I gotta grind.
Face my day, face my day. I'm amazed always, amazed always. I came a long way, yeah. I know I've been changed, But I found a new lane, Now I can see it all plain, yeah. Come on, it's a brand new day, But they thinking I'm strange, Out with that old, yeah. And I'm in with that new, yeah. See, my life was cold, But it's just been renewed, And I'm standing so bold, This is what I do, yeah. Ain't nothing out of hold, no, nothing. Ain't nothing out of lose, yeah, nothing. And I'm taking all ways, seeing your grace, came a long way, yeah. And I'm going all day, seeking your face, and I see it all change. Yeah, I ain't worried no way, times that I pray, seeing your grace. And the thing that I face, the thing that I came, I know I'll remain. Yeah, took it always, did about face, and I'm on a straight path. I ain't going back, ayy. Yeah, looking back at it all, But I just gotta say, no shame in my game, And I'm going all day, just like, come on.
Grind, 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 grind. Ay, push me, I won't stop my grind. Ay, I'm gonna go for what's mine. I gotta grind, I gotta grind. Grind, 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 grind. I gotta grind, I gotta
It's time for the FiveTwenty podcast song breakdown, sponsored by
Show Me Christ Records.
All right, guys, that was Grind by REFmusic208. That features, like Nate said, kind of a independent CHH legend in the making with Zay Hill, and then maybe the legend within CHH, KJ52. Great song, and we want to give a big shout out to our guys at Show Me Christ Records up there in St. Louis, Missouri, for being our official song breakdown sponsor. Guys, Show Me Christ, man, they're making moves, Nate, and I think people really need to check them out, and you can do so at showmechristrecords.com, where you can get info on their events, their music that they're releasing, much more. I mean, they are curating some really good playlists, so if you're an artist looking to get your music on more of those on Spotify and Apple Music and whatnot, make sure you drop that to Show Me Christ Records. Let them check it out. But, super cool people up there at Show Me Christ doing really good things.
Yeah, some really great guys. It's been a pleasure to work with them. So shout out to Show Me Christ Records.
Awesome. Well, Nate, we're gonna do this a little bit differently this month. I really just want to hear your thoughts on this song, man, because I think there's a lot of really good things that are happening in it. Whenever you sit down with it and you just really kind of took that time to take it in, what were your thoughts? What were your reactions to it? What did you think of Grind?
I thought it was a very solid song. Whenever you see features with some big names like that, you're kind of interested to see how he's going to handle it, because it's real easy for a lot of artists to get kind of drowned out by the feature, and definitely not something you want to do when it's your song. But yeah, he really handled it well. His verse was great. Really liked it. Of course, Zay bringing the vocals for the hook. All around, top to bottom, very solid song. And of course, KJ52, you never have to worry about what he's going to bring to a song. He's been doing this for so long, he could probably do it in his sleep. But from top to bottom, it was a very solid song. And to be honest, I had to go back and I listened to the whole project just to kind of get a feel for Ref Music. I hadn't really ever listened to a lot of his music before. And Grind really was consistent with the whole album. So it was great. And just the consistency was really good from his standpoint.
Yeah, man.
I'd like to hear what you had to say about the song.
Well, I mean, like you said, I think this is a good representation of the project. So if you guys like what you heard there on Grind, make sure you go and listen to Kingdom Come. Ref worked on that for a while, man, and put out a really good project. For Grind specifically, man, the thing that the best aspect of it to me was that hook with Zay Hill. I mean, I think Zay killed it. That was definitely his lane, what he's known for. It just it stayed with me. That was my favorite aspect of this song, man. That's not to take away from the verses of Ref and KJ 5-2. Like I said, they did a really good job on those. I liked the production. The beat was good. The one thing I will say about the production is, I think, man, I don't know, just something about the 808s after so long kind of got to me a little bit. It was a little bit repetitive there. But overall, though, it was really good sonically. Like you said, I think Ref really took, this opportunity to kind of just step up. I do think KJ's verse was a little bit better. But
I mean, that's kind of natural with KJ 5-2 has been around as long as I can remember. So, like I said, he can do this in his sleep. So
yeah, and here's the thing about KJ, man, is like the dude is like a chameleon, man. He jumps onto any style of song. I mean, like we've heard him do so many different variations throughout his career, and I mean, there's a reason why the guy's been doing it for 20 some odd years.
I mean, yeah, I remember maybe 19, 20 years old listening to KJ 5-2. So this guy's GOAT status in CHH right now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. But, KJ brought it. Like I said, not to take away from Ref at all. I think he did his thing. But whenever you're jumping on there with a actual legend in our space, I mean, it's tough. It's tough. But Ref's verse was very good. I think he's really showing people with this track what he's capable of and why people need to be paying attention to what he's doing, what they're doing with Squad Life, Vital Tune. I mean, man, he's up there, I believe, in North Dakota, Idaho, somewhere
actually,
in there.
Idaho. So he's technically repping the Pacific Northwest, so shout out to Ref Music for that. But yeah, his verse, he stepped up and held his own with KJ 5-2. So
yeah, but my point being, you don't got a lot of artists that's coming out of that area, especially CHH, man. So, but here's the thing: there's more of them than you know, probably up there that's doing their thing. So I think he did a really good job, not only with the song but with the project as a whole. That to maybe give some more attention to those guys up there that are working hard on what they're doing with their music.
Yeah, it's those guys. We keep finding these artists that nobody's heard of. I mean, it kind of sounds weird saying keep finding these guys, but there's so many artists out there that are constantly grinding, putting in the work that nobody knows about, and just looking for their chance to find an audience. And that's really what our whole goal for FiveTwenty is all about, and working with Ref is definitely a big part of that plan.
Yeah, man. And what it should show other artists is that, man, it doesn't really matter your situation, right? If you go out there and not to throw out too much of a pun, but if you go out there and you grind, then you can make stuff happen. You can make moves, whether you are, in Atlanta, the hotbed of CHH, or you're up in Idaho, just doing your thing. Like, if you are putting out quality content, it's going to get noticed. It may not be immediate, but if you just keep pushing forward, keep improving, reach out, make those relationships, then you're going to find opportunities that present itself to you. And yeah, man, like I said, I think out of all the songs we've heard on the podcast so far, like Grind is definitely one of those top ones, man. I mean, we've heard some good songs on here, man.
It's in the top there. It's definitely in the top. And going back to what you said about not people noticing you, you never know. I've seen this in the last couple of years. You never know who's going to see what you're doing, and everybody's watching. So don't get discouraged. Keep grinding. There's people watching you don't know about. They'll let you know when you're doing your thing. So
yeah,
don't get discouraged. So
if there was one bit of advice that you would want to give to REFmusic208, Nate, what would that be?
Honestly, I think work on getting his music out there more, because until the last couple months or so in this project, I didn't know who REFmusic was, and it's now that I've heard him, know what he's about, it's good stuff, and just work on getting yourself out there more. That's the biggest thing I would say.
Yeah, man. I think what I would say to him is just know what your lane is, and I think he's found it. I think what we see with Kingdom Come is he's found a sound that works well with his abilities. So I think the temptation, especially in CHH, is to want to try different things, and especially if there's a new sound that's just like catchy or whatever that's getting streams at the moment. The temptation there is to like, well, maybe I should try that. Like, no, find what fits you and just continue to perfect it. So that would be what I would say to him, because I think Grind is a very solid foundation for that to for Ref to build on as an artist, man. So definitely excited to see what he does going forward. I know he's been doing it for a while, but it almost feels like he's just getting started. So yeah, man, I think it's really good stuff there. Excited to check it out. So make sure you guys go listen to Grind, stream it, download it, whatever, support it, support the project Kingdom Come. And I know that we're going to be seeing more from REFmusic208 coming very, very soon, guys. Nate, we're about to jump into this industry insider interview with our guy DJ Jeremaya of Trackstarz. Before we hit that up, is there anything that you want to throw out there?
Check out the Sauce playlist. You can find that on our website. Also,
hey,
you can find it on Spotify
speaking
as
of
well.
The Sauce playlist, man, would Grind be one that you see on there?
I definitely would probably put that on there.
So maybe it will be. So maybe you go listen to Sauce and you listen to it on there.
It is remiss of me to maybe not have that on there right now, but it definitely will be corrected. Speaking of that, the artist of cover artist for the month of September is Cam from Culture Villains. Like I said, he's got that new single "We" out, so check that out. That's about all I have to plug for this.
For sure, guys. Hit up FiveTwentyCollective.com. Check out Sauce playlist on Spotify along with Working. Yeah, man, just go out and support good independent artists. I mean, that's what it's all about. Connect with us. But more importantly, what we want to leave you guys with right now is a great interview with DJ Jeremaya of Trackstarz. Hey guys, what's up? This is Eric with 520 Collective and the 520 Collective podcast. I want to talk to you about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way possible to make a podcast. Let me break it down for you. 1, it's free. That's right, no cost to use Anchor. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you. So if you want to get on platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and many, many more, then it's really, really easy, guys. You just set up an Anchor account at anchor.fm. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. Again, make money, no minimum listeners. You're not going to find that anywhere else. It's everything you need to make a podcast, and it's all in one place. So go right now and download the free Anchor app, or go to anchor.fm to get started. And make sure you let them know you heard it on 520 Collective podcast. Welcome to this month's Industry Insider interview, brought to you officially by
Bookkeeper247.com.
All right, guys, welcome to this month's Industry Insider interview, sponsored as always by our friends at the Bookkeeper247.com. Guys, they are still growing over there at the Bookkeeper. Hit them up right now, the Bookkeeper247.com, and find out how you can join the team, how you can spread what's going on over there. They're looking for writers, they're looking for social media people, just a wide range, looking to grow the team. So, just touch base with them, the Bookkeeper247.com, the official sponsor of the Industry Insider interview. And right now, guys, joining me on the Trackstarz Podcasting Network phone line is actually one of the benefactors, one of our inspirations for all of this. He is a founding member of Trackstarz, and we're super excited to have him on the phone with us today. It's none other than, I'm going to steal a line from Rick Sincere here. It's my DJ, Mr. DJ Jeremaya. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Everything is on the up and up, man. And, yeah, man, I think I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? It's a Labor Day, and I didn't have to go to work, so anything that's like that, then amen. So, yeah.
Amen. Well, man, we're excited. I know me and you have been kind of talking for a minute now about trying to get you on the show, and I'm glad that it's happening. Yeah, man, just thank you for joining us.
Yeah, no problem, man. Like, it's an honor, man. You guys are doing some great stuff. You guys are really stepping into the independent lane for the independent CHH artists, and I see a lot of people giving y'all shout-outs and everything of that nature. So, man, that's a good look for you guys, man. Y'all hit into a niche that nobody was touching as hard, or if somebody was touching it, it wasn't as spotlighted like it was. So that's a good look for you guys. So, yeah, I'm just happy to help wherever I can help.
Oh, for sure, man, for sure. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate those kind words, for sure. So what's new in your world, man? What's been going on?
Really just, of course, continue to do the show every week, and just pretty much that, man. Just trying to figure out some more stuff. Trying to get my production thing going back up again. Had some computer problems here and there. It's just not a lot, but just, what I'm saying, trying to do different things. I mean, like me and Maya, my wife, we've been working with artists and stuff. So we working with Prophet Josiah. He's coming out with a project. We've been helping him, trying to market it, coming up with ideas for the marketing of it. So, him, and then also another guy called Lamar James. He has a single out right now called Can't Let Go. So we've just been working like that. Sooner or later, FMG would do something probably, which is myself, Rick Sincere, Miles Austin, and Sean David Grant. And, so that's where we are right now. Kind of A&R helping out stuff. So, yeah.
That's what's up. Man. And, you guys, had that successful release with Rick Sincere's Beyond Belief project, and then I'm sure that this new project with Prophet is going to be on that same level. So definitely excited for what you guys are doing there, man.
Yeah, well, I think the thing is, like, everybody has their lane, and everybody got to understand their lane. Like, we talked to Prophet, and I know he said one of his ideals was to chart and stuff like that, but his lane is totally different from Rick's. And Rick's lane is totally different from FMG's. And then Lamar James is totally different from all of us. So it's like, you just got to try to find that lane and market that person to a point where they can get the best of who they're supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it could be something where, like Rick Sincere could be on, based off his music, could be somewhere where he's just killing youth groups, whereas Prophet Josiah could do youth groups too, but he could be more like where it's a little different, where he could do more lounges, or he could do more different events at the church that's more geared to a little bit more adults that would get his music a little bit more than the average person. You know what I'm saying? So I think one of those things is just trying to figure out people's lanes and then help them get down that lane that I think me and my wife do very well. So yeah, man, that's what we're working on right now. And then also, of course, dealing with the whole piece of being the DJ of the show, create the music for the show, line for line, the playlist, and all that other stuff. So yeah, it's been great, man. So
For sure.
it's just a blessing.
Awesome.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
and one thing that you just talked about there was the playlist, man, and that's definitely something I want to talk about because obviously, I mean, you stepped into one of those kind of gatekeeper roles when it comes to CHH, man, and people are always looking, okay, what is DJ Jeremaya? What is he going to co-sign? What is he going to say? Hey, this is what you guys need to hear. And you put out your next up list at the beginning of this year. I know that we got another one that's going to be coming out early in 2020. But I think one thing that a lot of people are always wanting to get on, man, is get on those playlists, man. So, and there's several that you curate for Trackstarz, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is. We have one called Milk, which is kind of like just one of the best. I just try to find the best in CHH. You know what I'm saying? The music is good. People rapping is good. Everything sounds great. Then we have the Feel Good Gospel mix, which is more like urban gospel, which is like, for people who want to hear like a Chris Brown, or I'm just trying to think of other R&B artists right now, but just that type of music that they put out for mainstream that we have for Christian. So I try to make sure we find those type of people, not like the people, but the sound of those people. So Chris Brown, The Weeknd, Beyonce, all that type of stuff. But these are urban gospel artists, and they make great music and stuff like that. Then also I have another list, which is kind of like the come up list, but it's called Need to Know, which you did the cover for, which I'm grateful for you doing that cover. Yeah, man, the cover was crazy. So you did the cover for it, and it's basically like I found the picture, and it was like, the cover is basically somebody going through like records and trying to find something. And I think that's the thing that I would say mostly where indie artists that's still on their come up, that still like they make good music, but they may be like their sound may be dated, or their sound may be their sound may not be right now. You get what I mean? And I mean to say dated, but just the sound may not be in right now, or the sound may be a throwback sound, but they're still good, and the people still need to know about them. So I try to put people on that list. I'm still trying to figure out how to market it, because I used to do the whole marketing thing every week, where I would go on Twitter and put people's names and at them, and we were getting results off of that. But I started seeing everybody do that, and I was like, sometimes I like to think outside the box, like, okay, so how can we promote this and get the artist still to check it out? You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to figure that out as I'm doing it. So yeah, but I think those are the three primary. We have other playlists too, but those are the three ones that constantly has a revolving, changing of different artists. I put them on this or that and stuff like that. So yeah, so that's pretty much where I do. You know what I'm saying? I just for anybody out there, sometimes I get people to send me stuff. I get sometimes I go to Spotify has something where they have new Christian stuff that dropped that week, and then I listen through that and say, okay, this fits there, that there, and yeah, man, that's pretty much it.
Cool. So if you're a independent artist, and I'm wanting to try to get your attention, like, what's the process? What do I need to do to stand out to you? And what maybe even is more important, what should I not do?
Well, I think here's the thing, man. Like, trying to find artists right now everybody's doing the same thing. You know what I mean? You get my email address, or like I use Jason Bordeaux, who's a very good friend, of everybody. He kind of does our artist submission for Trackstarz. So sometimes when we do the Line for Line Showdown, I'll start to hear new artists, or the CHH Elites. I start hearing new artists. I'm like, he's good. You know what I'm saying? I think for me to get my attention, I think you just have to have something that will impress me. And not impress me like I'm some type of big dog or whatever, but just impressive of like, wow, you thought that through. You know what I mean? Because everybody does the same thing. And I'm like, if you want to be impressive, have a different rollout for your music. Like if I'm online if I'm on Twitter and all I get from you is your SoundCloud page and yo, go check this out, yo, I'm hot. And I'm like, you know how many things we get like every day of somebody saying that? Like, you have to have something else. Maybe it's a video. Maybe it's, maybe it's, I don't know, something that's different. Maybe it's something creative enough that you like, wow, this was very thought of. So let me hear the music. Because see, at the end of the day, to me personally, if you thought-provoking and you put time and effort into what you're presenting to the world, then that means that you're working on your craft as well. It's not just, hey, man, listen to this, and it's a CD. Like back in the day, I used to get CDs where there would be blank CDs in a sleeve, and it's no cover. It's just the artist writing on a CD saying his name in the album, and I'm like, God, this dude could be good, but this presentation is not good. Like, you know what I mean? So I think, to me personally, it's just the presentation has to be good. You know what I mean? It just has to be a very good presentation to a point. You know what I mean? Or another thing, too, is if I'm at an event and I see you performing, your music is fire, and I'm like, yo, you need to be heard. You know what I mean? So those are the couple ways. I would say me seeing you perform live somewhere, if your presentation, the packaging of what you're trying to present to the world is great. And then the third is probably our artist submission, because we get a lot of submissions, but when we do the Line for Line Showdown, I have to really listen to the project. And I'm like, oh, wow, I have to really listen to the song that you submitted. And then I'm listening to it, and I'm like, wow, this is really, really good. I really, really need to let people know about this. You know what I mean? So I think those are the three ways I would say. Your live performance, submitting to Trackstarz, and making sure you get on the Line for Line Showdown. And then the third thing I would say would be the presentation. Maybe it's not a video. I mean, it's not just your SoundCloud link. It's a video. It's a 30-second clip that's just very interesting, something that catches my interest. So I would say those three things.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and one thing that I've kind of noticed is it seems like obviously CHH is maybe bigger or has more people involved than it ever has, right? And it's thriving. It's putting out content that is on par and competing with what you hear in the mainstream. But then you notice like these artists who just feel like, hey, man, I put out this song, I think it's good, you should put me on, like just because I put out a song, right? I mean, what have you noticed, man? How has kind of just CHH changed? And like, I think you were kind of hitting on it there where these artists, man, there's some real important, vital aspects of doing this that are kind of just getting left out, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, I don't think people, I think right now it's like the Wild Wild West. And the reason I'm saying that is because really I always say this to my personal preferences, like, I got into Christian hip hop. I have gotten CDs and stuff in the 90s because my sister knew I was into hip hop, so she gave me some CDs and stuff like that. Some people I liked, some people I didn't. But once I got into it, like in the late 90s, early 2000s, you start finding artists yourself, or you start going on message boards, or you start going on different things back in the day, that there were legitimate people who was like, yo, I have to, like, it was like people who were doing CHH because they genuinely were saved, or they just had the gift to rap, and it was like a small few. It was like God chosen few in the 2000s. It wasn't a lot of people. I feel like now it's a lot of people, and you got to really dig through stuff to find that gem. You know what I'm saying? I think I'll give you an example. We had a challenge, I think, for Sean's project, and we end up finding about AI, the anomaly, based off that. And that was a gem because we did a challenge, and she just stood out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying we're taking responsibility for discovering her or anything, but because she was already with, I believe the group was called Out of This World, which is her, Meech, Zadok, and other people. But she was just, we were like, yo, she's tight, she's dope, she's this. So fast forward about 2 years later, she's now signed with God Over Money. So it's just one of those things where you have to dig and constantly dig and search. I think right now it's And why I say it's the Wild Wild West is because it's like anybody can do this now. You know what I mean? I felt like back in the day, it was like, God is calling me to do this. Now, I'm not saying that God is not calling people to do it now, because I believe he still is. But I feel like now it's a little bit more like, ooh, I can get in, I can still get fans, I can still do this. You know what I'm saying? So I think at the same time, it's not all over the place. It's a great thing when you have people. It's almost like churches. It's like having a lot of churches in one area. The gospel is getting preached, but at the same time, it's like, is this church being really effective? Is this, and it's not just by somebody having a lot of people at the church. It's like, what are they doing that is their music really affecting the culture? You know what I mean? So I think that's just where it is right now. But I think also the artist is diverse. I would say that too. It's more diverse and it's more collaborative. Because in the past, it wasn't as collaborative as it is now. You know what I mean? So like, kind of, we had Aaron Cole last week on the show, and I told him, I said, man, y'all generation are collaborative more, because the prior generation wasn't collaborating with people unless they was with the same clique or they were cool together. Now you're seeing people like collab more that they may not, I ain't gonna say they may be cool, but just they may be different in styles. They may not be on the same clique or whatever. And they collaborate with them because they see what they're about, they like them or whatever. You know what I mean? They give them a chance. So, yeah.
Definitely. Well, and I think there's also a level of, you can tell the people that are willing to invest in themselves, and it makes a difference. It makes some separation there. And that's something that, like, we talk, we've got a group me chat that we have several people in there, and that's one thing that we try to kind of drive home is like, hey, I get it. Everyone's got specific budgets, but you have to be willing to put in to this if you want to achieve it, right? I mean, is that something you've kind of noticed where it's like, I think, me and Jason have talked about this before. It's like, man, you get a submission and maybe that song's good, maybe it's decent, but you've got like someone that went into like clip art and made a cover, right? Or whatever. I mean, what do you think about that? Like what would your advice be on like knowing what you need to invest in?
Well, I would say this. Your best investment, people don't get this. It's like getting a business card. Like, your music is like your business card. Like, if you created your business card, like if somebody gave me a business card, like chopped up index card with writing on a pen and saying, yo, this is my business card, you're going to be like, you're not going to take that person serious. Even if that person is the best at what they're doing. If they're the best baker, they're the best writer, they're the best whatever, but that business card looks a mess, you're going to be like, man, I don't even trust this dude. And that's the same thing with anything. You know what I mean? Sean probably could tell you the story of almost how Trackstarz and prior to Trackstarz getting started and how he wanted to get in this because he saw somebody's artwork and it didn't look good. And he was like, okay, if he's going to represent Christ, if I'm going to get in this business, I got to help people get better at their presentation. Because at the end of the day, back in the day, CDs were different. I mean, now it's a little bit different because you hear a song on a playlist, or you hear something in streaming, or you walking somewhere and you at an amusement park and you hear music and you're like, wow, that song's pretty good. Let me go, who's that artist? I could Google search it or whatever. But back in the day, you had to get a CD from somebody, and that was the representation of what the product was. Even like I said, even if the rapping was very good on the product, but if the presentation was horrible, then it wasn't good. So I'll say that to anybody. It's like, save your money up, push it. I would say to anybody. I know we're in the EP kind of lane right now where everybody's doing EPs. I would kind of focus on singles. I would drop a single, like maybe I would work a single. I would make sure that single is mastered. Go to somebody, find people. You can go online, look at mastering services, and then focus on that single, do a video for that single, and promote that single. And then if you get traction, continue to create music, but make singles first. And then once you have enough singles, you can create an EP for those singles and add a few more songs on there. And then people start hearing you. But I think right now we're so focused on the artists are just so like it's almost like a chef. A lot of artists, I feel like a lot of artists are like a chef that give people meals, but then they keep giving people meals, and it's like, yo, we ain't finished done eating. You just gave me a plate, and you giving me another plate. Like, I even taste this. I didn't even get to enjoy this yet. So I think that's where we are. Like, get a single, market the heck out of that single, come up with concepts of coming around that single. Like, if I use Rich Sincere for example, he had a single called "Tell Me," and me and my wife, we sat with him and we came up with some ideas for him for "Tell Me," or we shot it, gave him some ideas, he gave some ideas, and then we came together and was like, okay, then try this, and he got the best out of that before his album dropped because he had a marketing around that one song. And I think sometimes that's what you got to do. Now, there's some artists that's past the one single. This is I'm just talking about for beginners, like people who just starting it up. But like other artists now, if you're in the lane where you drop multiple projects already, then maybe you need to slim down and go to an EP. And maybe for you, like if you've been doing this for a while and you're not really seeing a success, you need to do an EP and you need to perform live in front of people. I think we're in the lazy era of the artist, where the artists think if I'm on Trackstarz, if I'm on Rapzilla, if I'm on FiveTwenty, if I'm on Wado, if I'm on Jam the Hype, I'm good. Like, no, you still need to create fans. The problem with CHH is that people don't know that there's not a lot of fans. There's a lot of artists who are fans of people, and then they go, if you ever been to a show, sometimes you can see this. It's like the artist is not on stage. I mean, a guy comes on stage or a girl comes on stage, she raps, or he raps or whatever, gets off stage and then watch the fans that like watch whoever's the headliner and be like, yo, they were dope. Woo. And you can ask yourself, and you look in the crowd and you be like, how many of these people are artists or fans? And that's the problem with CHH too, is that it's just that the fan base is not there for certain artists, that they're going to have to create it. So to that person too, and then even to the beginner person, the person who just started, also, you got to create fans, man. You got to organically create a fan base. And it's not hard to do it. You just have to go out and perform. Churches, youth groups, going back to school events or events at churches. If you're one of those guys, I saw somebody recently saying, like, I'm not that guy to go to clubs and lounges. Well, then you're going to have to figure out how to make yourself work in the church atmosphere, in the church circuit, where it's like, okay, and my 5-mile radius from my house is 10 churches. How can I hit all them churches in a month or 2 months or 3 months? How can I hit all these churches? Okay, they're having a youth event. So let me go talk to the pastor of that church or youth pastor, give him my music and say, hey, I'll be willing to do it for free as long as I can sell merchandise. Or if you pay me or whatever, you work out to whatever you need to work out, but you need to hit those places if that's your thing. Now, if you're a person that says, you're an artist that says, well, my music is everywhere. I can go to a church, I can go to a lounge, I can go to the stadium, I can go wherever. Then you need to plan out how to get into these places. Open mics. Open mics are always a new thing to get your buzz happening. You know how many organic people, artists, mainstream artists, started at open mics and just kept going and went from that open mic to a showcase or whatever. You know what I mean? So I think that's one of the things you got to do is have a organic following, man. And once you get an organic following, that's where the money comes in for you to people to purchase and people to support you. Because like Lecrae has an interesting story about that, where he started off as doing some camps and some prison ministries, and the music he was doing, he had like a few songs, but they were saying like, the music is so good, man, we need an album. And that's when they got that album and they started doing stuff. But he created the demand because the songs were good, but he was in places where he went to a detention center, he went to a Christian camp, he went to those places, and they created that, and the rest is kind of history. I mean, he started meeting other people that helped him along the way to get more nationally, but at the same time, when he had to start small, if you got to start small, look where you can go to perform or look to minister. I keep saying perform, you said minister. Look to minister your music at, and I think you would be good when you can create that fan base. But if you just like everybody else and thinking that you can get your music on Christian hip hop websites and you good, unless you got a good paying job, that's not going to work for you. So I think that's one of the things. I know I said a lot, but yeah, I just think I think that's just one of those things where I see for people, it's like they don't have a plan. They're not thinking outside the box. They just dropping music, and then they get mad at everybody because it's not working for them. And it's like you blaming this person or you blaming that person. It's like, but you don't have a plan for this. You need a plan for anything that you're going to come out with. You know what I mean? So
yeah. For sure. DJ Jeremaya dropping knowledge for you guys. Go out there, grind, work, realize that your songs have life that's longer than 1 week, that you can get streams beyond your release weekend. So, I mean, yeah, go out there and work, guys, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, man.
And here's another thing real quick.
Yeah.
No curators, too. That's another thing. No curators. I know myself, know the people, DJ Michael V. He has a great he has a great playlist for CHH, Sphere of Hip Hop, you guys. There's a lot of Rapzilla, Jam the Hype. There's a lot of people. And then also my guy from New Release Today, Dad by Faith. Like, the great curators who have playlists. And that's another thing you need to know as an artist. Who are the people that is in your sphere of influence that you want to change the game, like that can change your situation, and not change your situation like you're going to become a millionaire overnight, but change your situation where you came from like zero, like you had no fans, to almost your song is reaching out to more and more people. So you got to know that too, man. Like, do your research, know who's who for each playlist. If you want to get on the Rap Caviar playlist, or you want to get on the CHH Caviar playlist, like, know the curators of those playlists, so that once you get to meet them in person or email them, you can send them your stuff. And I'm sure they probably get a lot, or you DM them or whatever, you know what I mean? So just know the people, you know what I mean? That's another thing too. Know who you know, the tastemakers of your time, I guess I would say.
For sure. Well, and man, DJ Jeremaya is definitely one of those guys that you want to know. Obviously, they can hit up trackstarz.com and get info there. But where do they need to go to get it right from the source, right from you?
I'll say, well, we do music submissions, like I said, and Jason Bordeaux handles that for us because it's a lot, and he's very good at that. I think for me, my social media, everything is I am Jeremaya, Jeremaya. I've gotten DMs from people before. I've heard stuff like, yo, this is good. And different things of that nature. So, that's all me on Instagram and Twitter. What else? Yeah, I think that's it, man. Like, I've gotten that before, where it's people, I see people's stuff, and sometimes I'll click on it based on if I'm like really, I have not a lot going on that day. I'm like, okay, let me just do the chance or her chance and stuff like that. Or if you join Nectar, that's another thing, man. Nectar is another great opportunity for me to hear your music if you join our distribution company, because I get told about different artists and stuff like that via Nectar. So that's another opportunity too.
For sure. Well, there you have it, guys. Make sure you go and follow him on social media. He said, I am Jeremaya. Soak in that knowledge, and when your stuff is ready, reach out, drop it to him. Let's see what can happen, man. For sure. Well, man, Jeremaya, thank you so much for joining us this month, man, on the podcast.
Yes, man. Yes, sir.
So much knowledge. I'm gonna be excited to get you back on here, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, anytime. I know we have to work out with our time of day or schedule, but yeah, man, anytime I can help you guys out, man, I'm big on trying to get this movement to another place, man, because I really feel like we have great artists. They just need help with certain things, and they just need help with different things. And then also, man, like, there's other people out there to find the A&R type look that you need, man. Because I think you can talk to Sean or Rick or even Prophet, and they'll tell you, like, man, Jeremaya and his wife really helped us out, man, and we helped and did what we could to make sure that they got something that they desired, So, yeah, man, I think that's one of the things and it doesn't even have to be us, but just find somebody that can help you because sometimes artists are artists. They don't know how to market. They don't know how to do business. They don't know how to do none of that stuff. They just know how to create. So you need help marketing your stuff. So
awesome.
Yeah, that's a go, man.
Cool. Well, guys, we want to give a big shout out to all of our sponsors this month: Bookkeeper 24/7, Show Me Christ Records, Godframe, REFmusic208. If there's anyone else I forgot, I'm sorry, but yeah, definitely check out all the sponsors, and we'll be touching base back with you guys next month for our October podcast. We'll be looking forward to seeing you there.